right, hey guys, happy Monday. So first, let's start out. In case you didn't know, this is Amy now. Who here is brand new? I know we've got some new agents joining us today. Awesome, thank you guys for being here today, and welcome to Central. So as many of you know, and if you don't know already, Amy Downs is considered our MREA of the office. Does anybody know what an MREA is? Yes, Ms. Susan.
$1 million.
Millionaire real estate agent. So that is a term that was developed by Gary Keller when the MREA book was written. And so we were very excited when Amy joined us last year. What month was it? It was July, wasn't it? I think it was July. I think it was July, yeah, July or August of last year. So she didn't realize this, but we were all like bouncing up and down and going, hey, you can bounce for me here. So we were very, very excited. So who in this room, just before I get into a full introduction of her, who in this room is on a team or has thought about joining a team? Okay, okay, good. All right, so we're going to get you lots of information today. What we're going to do first is I'm going to start out with asking some questions to Amy, and then at the end of this, I'm going to open it up to you all, including our wonderful Zoom people, to ask questions that you're curious about. So we know you as the Amy Downs team. We also see on a lot of your flyers and information, Place Geek. What is Place Geek?
Place Geek is the largest expansion team in the United States. So when I partnered, we go into that part.
Well, first, before you go into your partnership of it, how long have you been in real estate? And tell us a little bit of the path that led you to Place.
Okay. Been in real estate for 25 years. Kind of started out not even knowing what a realtor was, actually. I was on my son's story with him. He was like, why did you get into real estate? I'm like, so got into real estate as an individual agent. Then I went into Paul Baker and had for 9 years. And then I joined Keller Williams in 2004. Growth was always a big piece of my business. So as I grew, I had to learn how to increase the customer service, because when you get so busy with so many transactions, you can't take care of everybody. So the whole team thing for me was just kind of by accident. So the more that my business built, the more people I had to add to the business just to take care of everybody. So went to Keller Williams in 2004. In March of 2018, I was servicing about 14 counties, had a team of myself taking care of the wholesaler side of the business, and then I had a buyer's agent on the team that was handling the whole buyer side of the business, and then we had two full-time operations director, and then we had a transaction coordinator. At that point, we were handling about 14 counties, so we were driving all over the place. Some of our business was like 2 hours one way, and we were like, gosh, we really just need to separate the map and the areas we cover and hire agents in each one of those territories. So Emily and I, my director of operations, went down to Austin, went to the ESO class that Chris Suarez was putting on. ESO has been great position because we knew we needed to expand, and we knew in those counties that it may be agents that aren't necessarily going to be within the same market center. So we needed to figure out how we could expand and do it the right way. Went down there in March of 2018, did the class, stayed and did Christopher Suarez's kind of his whole system. At that time, he was experienced expansion. So we started looking into, gosh, after we went to the class, it's going to take us probably 2 or 3 years to build out the systems and tools that we would need to expand and scale at the right level. So what we did is started talking to Chris and Polly, his director of growth, about what it would look like to be partnered with them in their Dallas area. They didn't have anyone in Dallas. So we decided after about 6 months of talking to them and really just nailing it down to partner with them. And then in February of 2019.
I know, 2020 like blurred.
I know.
Like, from 2019 to 2021, we did.
Yeah, we did. So we partnered with Chris in 2019. Then Chris actually partnered with Ben Kinney. I don't know if y'all are familiar with him. Chris and Ben Kinney partnered up in February of 2020 to make place. So at that time, all of Ben Kinney's expansion teams plus Chris's expansion teams all became Place. And with Place, it's the largest expansion network in the United States. So I think now they're up to like 500, maybe 600 individual agents within Place and teams as well.
I'm gonna have you put this on yourself because I'm loud apparently and they can hear me just fine, but they were struggling with you a little bit. All right. How many transactions were you doing approximately when you felt that you needed to have a team that you wanted to do?
Okay. So I never even thought about team or not team. So I was doing as an individual agent, I think my last year by myself, I was doing 110 units by myself a year with one admin. And that was back in probably close to 2000. So at that time, I just really didn't know what else to do because I couldn't handle that much business. So I partnered with someone at Paul Baker. I had a business partner and he took care of all the business. I think that was in 2003. In 2003, we were the #1 team in all of Paul Baker. That at that point is when I said, now what? We can't be hired the #1 in the whole company. So what's our next move? And that's when I started talking to Keller Williams about moving to Keller Williams because I knew that our agents at Keller Williams and teams were doing a lot more production, and I knew I would have that competition as well as the support that I needed. I'll go ahead and give you all, I have no filter to So just one thing, the difference between Paul Baker and Keller Williams is it was more broker centric at Paul Baker. So if you have sign calls, you can sign on the listing, Paul Baker's phone number is the main number on the side. So all of my sign calls were going to the office, and the office, the people that were on their phones were getting my leads on my listing. So when I left Keller Williams in 2004, I was like, wow, my business doubled because I was able to take all those calls from my listings, and they were more about the agent and the client versus about the brokerage. So yay for all of you that chose Keller Williams because you're starting off in a place where you can grow your business at a high level.
That's actually starting to be something that we're talking about too. Agents that are coming over, and there's that team that we're currently bringing over. They were with a different brokerage. I won't name the name, but guys, it's a big deal to really consider because for a lot of you, when you're brand new in this industry, you don't know what's going to be important to you 10 years from now, 5 years from now, even a year from now. And so a lot of times people don't realize, like they go, oh, well, I'm going to pick, Compass has really cool signs that light up. I'm going to pick Compass. And you're like, it only says Compass. Like it doesn't say your name. You're not able to brand yourself. And so, that's one thing that makes me proud to be a part of Keller Williams as a whole, because you're able to brand yourself, because your clients are choosing to work with you. They're choosing to work with Amy Downs and her team, not Keller Williams. And so that's something to always really keep in front of mind. All right, so what systems and tools do you use in selecting members for your team, and why are those systems and tools important?
Well, the growth of your team is all about people, and if you have the wrong people on your team, it's not going to be a good outcome. So when we bring agents on the team, we go through a very thorough process, which is called career visioning. I'm sure some of you have heard of career visioning, and you probably if you haven't done it, but they take a KPA. The KPA, which we were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, we do like a little short interview with them to see if they're even a good match, because not everybody is a good match for a certain team, and every team is different. So we do a short phone interview, kind of intro to what our team is like and the work that we have to put in on our team, because we have very strict standards and guidelines. And then we go through the career visioning, which is the KPA. There's 4 parts of that. There's a part that kind of tells us a little bit about paragraphs, and then we kind of go through that match and then we do a live story and a motivational interview. And I find during that time of motivational interview that people either self-discover something about themselves that may or may not be a reason to join a team, or they may, self-discover something that they need to be doing instead of that. So going through that entire process is so important because you really get to know that person. And then once you're through with that process, you pretty much know if it's going to be a win-win for both of you. And then you'll move on and we'll do a group interview at that point with the entire team. It's important for our team to all buy in on anybody that comes on board. We have a very strong culture on our team, which is super important. So if someone is being interviewed by the group and they see a sign or something of how they would fit in, or maybe we should question them a little bit more on another piece of the business, then we can ask those questions at that time. And then we sit down and go through expectations and business plan. So we do sit down and do a full business plan with every single person that joins our team. So we know exactly what their goals are when they come on the team, so we can help them to reach those goals. Because that's what we do. So that team we want everybody meetings and working.
Who here has had a KPA or filled out the KPA? Okay. When I went through mine with Bill for my position here as team leader in the motivational part, I cried. I broke down. I was like, oh my God, how did this test, it's not even a test, it's an assessment. How did it see into my soul? It was a really amazing experience. And so next month, we're actually going to do a career visioning light as one of our Millionaire Monday classes. So normally the career visioning classes as a whole is a multiple day process. So we're just going to do a nice light version of it. That'll probably last about an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most. Lindsay, our MCA, is going to be teaching it. She actually does KPAs at a very high level. Anyone that works in leadership knows she's a career visioning genius. But I really highly recommend going, and you're going to have the opportunity. Request a KPA on yourself. They will tell you, are you meant to be a solo agent? Are you meant to be on a team? Will you do better representing buyers, sellers? It's not always right. There are times, have you ever had somebody, okay, because I'll be honest with you guys, okay, I'm going to do raw honesty here. When I filled out the KPA, it said that I didn't really score that high to be a team leader. And I was like, I got the job anyway, thank God. But, and I think I'm okay, but have you ever brought somebody out to your team that didn't necessarily score high in the position of a Yes. How'd it go?
Typically, if they don't score high on the role, it typically doesn't work out. But does that mean we're going to turn them away? No, because sometimes it does work out. That's why it's important to go through the entire process, because you're going to find the reason why they scored low during the process. And then there may be times that it's, like for example, if someone scores low as like a buyer's agent, because that's what we use to score them on the KPA, then that typically means that one of two things. They either are going to be better as a single agent because they don't like the accountability and structure. That's probably the top reason why they score low. But then if you look at it, gives you a job match report that kind of shows you how you rank in every single state world. So we can kind of look at that and go, okay, well, they scored high as a single agent, but they scored low as a buyer's agent. So they should probably go be a single agent because they're probably a high D and they're going to come in and they're going to try to control it. Well, it's not going to work because we already have set systems and rules on our team. So they're probably going to try to go around those rules, or they're going to change them, so they're usually not keep it. So that's typically what we look at when we see the
Yeah. Kendall, I saw your game go for that.
How many people do you have on your team that are all in this market center?
They're all in this market center. We have 4 agents on the team, 1 listing specialist that works buyers and sellers, Matt is right there. And then we have 3 other agents, and then we have Emily's our director of operations, and Jennifer is our
Good. All right, so many agents choose to join a team specifically because they want leads is always the first thing that comes to mind. So why are the leads that are provided by a team so valuable?
Because the agents don't. That's the main reason agents join teams, because they don't have to pay for leads. And typically when you get into real estate, you don't have leads. So that's why people usually want to go to teams, so they have those leads and for the teams. So that's.
I'm gonna get deep for a second. I might go off script just a
Go
little bit. So a lot of times new agents, because we're in the DFW area, right? A lot of people are moving into this area, so they don't have a big strong sphere of influence. And so they're looking to get into real estate and they think, oh gosh, if I join a team, I'm gonna have a reduced cap. I'm gonna have to pay a bigger split, but that's okay because I'm gonna get leads handed to me. But then there might be a question of the value. And so each team here has a different value proposition, right? Everybody has their own special things that they have. Now, have you experienced agents saying, you know what, I can do this on my own, I don't need to be a part of the team? Okay, and what does that do to the overall team dynamic? Changes the culture. Okay.
So the one thing is, yes, we're gonna have leads, but just because you have a lead doesn't mean that lead can close. So you have to have great follow-up systems and, you know, great time blocking skills and good lead generation. You can't just come on a team and go, oh, there's leads, I'm gonna close some deals. And I think that's the misconception behind most agents when they join a team is they're like, okay, I'm gonna come in and get all these leads. And then we also have a very extensive training program that we put our agents through. And a lot of agents will come on for, you know, the 90-day training, and then they'll go, oh, okay, I'm gonna go do this on my own, and I'll never pick up the training. So
it's no different than like if you know, are a job, just a typical, you know, let's just say like somebody going into the service industry or something like that, where they go in and they get all the training and then they decide they want to change. It's like then the restaurant is sitting there going, wait a second, we just poured all this training into you, and it can be exhausting for the teams to experience. And so, and the other situation that I think, because I talk about this because there are teams, like this could be a struggle point for many teams. We've got a lot of teams here, and we have a lot of people that want to join teams, and there's always two different versions of everything. There's always two different sides to the experience, if you will. And so I think that it's important to discuss this, because if you ever do consider to join a team, it's good for a team to provide value. We always want to see that. But we also want agents that are joining a team to realize that there are changes in the market. The market changes like every 2 seconds.
yes.
And so we're 1 minute, like getting these leads to convert is pretty simple in some markets. And then you have this market. And so for you and the dynamic of your team right now, like what are you guys experiencing right now with this listing shortage that we're looking at, these multiple offers? Like where does a team benefit an agent in this market?
I think just being able to have the support of the team and then being able to get creative. So like in our last meeting, we have a team meeting every week. We talk about what can we do different in the market to help our buyers, what can we do different in the market to get listings. I'm not going to share what we came up with, but but having a team and being able to do that, you know, we can work together to come up with solutions to the issues of the market. And then we have a group text on our team, so if anybody ever has a question, they just send a question to the whole team and who's available to respond. So I think it's really just having that support and somebody who has your back and
yeah. So how big of a factor does your database referrals play in your team's production? Because it's not just about the blind leads that come in from, you know, Brivity or wherever you're capturing those leads. The referrals is a big part of it.
It's part of our business, yes. So I would say I'm starting my 25th year, and I would say up until maybe 2 years ago, my entire business was my database. So every piece of business that I had, about 80 to 90% of that was from my database. And I've been keeping in touch with my database literally since I got into real estate in 1996. So I think right now, one of my clients I've just closed a 14 deal with in the last year. And we've done deals together since 1996. And it's all about keeping in touch with those people. We have an amazing sphere lead lever for our sphere. So we keep in touch with those people by phone, email, social media. We do handwritten notes twice a year. We do client events. So that database is huge.
Switch spots with me. I think that the microphone is still there. I'm so loud.
Or
They
click it
hear
on
me
your
just
neck.
fine. I'm so loud back in the office. All right. So, I liked a second ago, you mentioned that you still do handwritten notes. Why is that so important?
Because it's personal. And one thing that we like to do too is we teach our team, anytime you talk to somebody, you should send them a handwritten note. We provide the notes to all of our agents. We provide the postage. Here's a handful of notes. Bring them back to us every Wednesday. We'll mail them for you. But handwritten notes are just super important. If you think about ever getting a handwritten note, how did it make you feel? Like someone cares. Someone took the time out to actually write you a note or thank you for their time, or it's just super important, and that goes a long way for.
Yeah. It's weird because my kids don't even understand like cursive. Like they're like looking at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a problem. It's the handwriting. It's gone away. It's all text messages. Nobody think about it. We're even going down the path to where a lot of communication that happens with clients or even with agents I'm talking to at different brokerages, the only way you can get in touch is via text message. We're losing that personal touch so much. And so again, I'm going to go off script. You're doing so good. You're like, because I have more questions popping into my head. How much does it benefit your agents to be able to like engage and be part of a market center, especially right now after a whole year of nobody really being able to be in close contact? Do you find that the atmosphere of a market center benefits your team?
Absolutely.
In what way?
Energy.
Energy.
A place to go, a place to, just come and work. And when you work from your home, sometimes people can't do that. They're not focused. You can't get focused at home. So, I'm more focused at home than the office, because the office, I want to walk out and talk to people. But it just kind of depends on.
Hang out, chit chat.
So, it just depends on the individual person, but I think coming into the office and being around others that are working and producing and productive and seeing that activity is important.
Well, because you mentioned something earlier, and you've mentioned this to me a few times. You're competitive.
Yeah.
You liked at first, when you first came into this market center, there was another team that production-wise she scared them away. You see, right? Like literally, she scared them away. They were like, oh, but that's a realistic thing. Like sometimes, I'm not going to say, but sometimes agents really don't want to come. They're comfortable being on top. They want to be number one. They always want to be number one, and they don't want to wiggle away from that. But in your case, you like that you weren't coming in and being number one here, because then I call it the hold my beer moment. Like, you're just like, here, hold my beer. I got it. And then it took like a month and you scared me away. No. Maybe she wasn't happy about that. That's interesting.
I love the competition.
Okay. So she's asking for everybody here to like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but with the step it up in mind, what are your goals for the next 5 years?
I don't know about 5 years. I would say in 5 years, I would like to be at 10 million UCI for the team.
And you're currently at?
Last year, we're at 1.2. Our goal this year is 2.1. So if we can double it every year, that would be great. But it also takes the right people. So I think that's our biggest challenge right now, is the people, and finding the people that are committed to the work to get to their goals and to be part of our team and our goals in our group.
Hey, is there any more goals you want to add to that, Matt? No.
Well, I will say, she has a plan to retire.
Yeah.
And that is one thing that's good about the team as well, is that leverage, like ultimate leverage.
So what would retirement mean to you then? Because would that be like you get to completely step away, or are you involved in, like you're able to like be at your, lake house and, I know you like Cancun a lot. What does retirement mean to you? Will you ever fully step out?
Eventually, I will fully step out, but what I'm working towards is getting out of production, which I've done really well at. So for me to just be out of production right now is my goal. So being out of production to me is putting my time and energy into my people to help them reach their goals. with our team. Anybody that comes on the team, as I said, we do a business plan. So we want to know what that person's goals are, and we have like a growth plan for everybody. So if someone wants to be in a leadership role on the team someday, then we're going to help them get into a leadership role. If somebody just wants to be a high producer, then we're going to help them leverage and hire a showing agent when they get to a certain point. Then we're going to give it half of an admin at a certain point, and then they're going to have a full-time admin, and that's all something they can do while still on our team, which is another great piece that we have in place, because it allows us to bring anybody on the team and help them grow their team within our team. So that's something that was added this year, which we're really excited about.
No, but some people just aren't meant to be on the team.
Right.
Some people, and it doesn't mean that they're not a good agent. It just means that they're just not meant to be in that atmosphere. What would you suggest to them to, be able to aspire to get to the production levels that even you had prior to running a team? Like, how do you feel about coaching? Do you feel like that's something that is beneficial? Like because there's also a lot of agents that are here right now, and I'm starting to have this conversation more and more where I sound like I'm like, I don't know, like I'm running a dating program or something. I'm like, you should get to know yourself first before fully committing to someone else.
Yeah.
So because you and I have been talking about this a lot lately, because that it can be a mistake at times when new agents, or let's just say someone that's been licensed for a while, all of a sudden struggles a little bit. He goes, oh, all my problems are going to be solved if I join the team. Mm-hmm. And then they haven't really processed that thought fully, or maybe they haven't fully had the opportunity to get to know themselves as a solo agent. And that's where we get into the bad, the revolving door of people joining a team and then leaving a team, which is tough on the individual leading the team, tough on the rainmaker of the team, tough on the team leader trying to juggle. So what would you recommend since we've got some brand new agents in here, what steps should they take to put them on the best path of success?
Training, coaching, I think is super important. I've always had to coach in real estate. It's I would say number one. Always find ways to educate yourself. Like continuously educate yourself. Find at least one thing a week to plug into, because the market is changing every single week, right? So that's one thing that I love about Place too, is that we have like 5 trainings a week, hearing from other people across the country on what did they do last week to knock it out of the park. So we are getting like those ideas every single week because we're plugged in and we're able to get that information. So I think just maybe talking to someone or getting a script partner with somebody that is higher than you, or maybe someone that you look up to and you're like, well, I want to be like them someday. Maybe I should go script practice with them, or I should set up a mastermind with them, or just really talking to people and getting to know their success stories. I think is really important.
Yeah, and that's why I love that, more and more engagements happening here at the Market Center. I think it's extremely difficult to navigate through difficult markets, especially like what we're all going through today, when you're not around people and you don't have access to it. So I commend all of you today for, being here physically and for joining us via Zoom, because we've got a big crowd on both. And so that means that you guys are actively trying to put yourself out there and get the answers to the market at the moment. So what would you suggest to someone that is possibly here today that wants to lead a team? What suggestions, because a lot of, I'll be honest, let me ask this question. Who here knows what a 411 is? What about 135? Okay, we already asked you to go about career vision. One of the biggest benefits of Keller Williams is that it was designed to help agents go down the path of creating a team. There's a book, y'all should have been given it. If not, let me know. It's called the MREA, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, where it specifically gives you the step-by-step formula of this is the path you take if you are looking to go down and create a team. So maybe I just answered the question for you, but would you recommend people read that book?
Yeah, but I'll also get all the time, I'll have agents send me messages that aren't even producing, and they tell me to start a team. And my first response is, you don't start a team until you're doing 36 units minimum a year. Once you're at 36, the first person you hire is an admin. You don't hire a buyer's agent, you don't hire a showing agent, you hire an admin. So that admin should help you double that business. So from 36, you should double that, and then once you're doubling that, that's when you start adding an agent. So there's a certain order that you hire people. You don't just go out and go, oh, I want a team. I need 3 buyer's agents because they think the buyer's agents are going to join their team to bring their business. Well, that's not what a team is about. A team is about the leader helping the people joining their team grow the team and grow them individually. So I think it's very important that you need to be your own admin. You need to be showing. You need to be listing all very successfully and have a set system for all of that stuff before you ever bring anybody to your team and plug them in.
And we have systems in place here to help you that as you are getting to that 36 unit production level, we have Leverage Plus here to help you guys if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling very, because maybe you've got a bunch of littles at home, maybe I'm talking about stuff, and you know, and you're buried in it. It's okay, like, but don't drastically jump into something, jump into creating a team and adding buyers agents to your team when you have other, you know, services available to you to kind of take that pressure off. But you know, Leverage Plus here, that's new. And so, so if you didn't know what a 135 is, and you didn't know what a 411 is, step 1, read the MREA, and then read it again. And then 2 years from now, read it again. You're going to end up reading it like 4 or 5 times. And then also realize that I'm here as, they call me the team leader, and everybody goes, what? Where's your team? Like, you guys are my team. You're my team. And so you're supposed to come to me and say, Sarah, like, I'm frustrated, and you know, this is where my production's at, I need it to be here. And then based off of your needs, then I'm able to say, you know what, we have a great team, or what are you looking for? What would you find value in? And then I can introduce you to Amy, or I can introduce you to Kirk Iverson, who I think is on Zoom. There's teams here that are always looking for agents to join their teams, but it's about being in the right mind frame for one. Having, like she said, the education, the foundation to the education, Ignite, all these other classes that we provide here at the Market Center, getting into coaching, dating yourself, getting to know yourself as an individual agent before you making that commitment to marrying yourself to a team. Because I want long-term relationships for the team. I don't want everybody to go, oh, I'm a divorce team, I'm gonna jump over here. Like, I understand divorces happen. It's okay. But we all want you to have long-term relationships, either with yourself or on a team.
And another thing too, I'll add to that, is if you are looking to join a team, every team is different. So don't just interview with one team, go interview with 3, 4, 5 teams, and then figure out which team is a win for you, because they're all gonna be different. And then have a set list of questions that you need to ask every single team and find out what's different, because it's going to be different for everyone.
And sometimes, guys, a lot of times people think a team is going to be the answer to everything. And then they ended up, they weren't supposed to be on the team. They were just supposed to work with a coach. And that happens a lot, and that's okay. The last thing I want to see is like a breakup to happen with the team, and then a person to be like, I can't be here because that breakup happened. No, it just wasn't the right fit for you. And we're going to fix it, and we're going to make everything good. It just wasn't the right fit. What are your thoughts right now on this current market, though? Have you seen anything like this in your history of being a licensed agent?
Not as bad, but in 2009 it was similar to this, where buyers were calling. We had several buyers this weekend that were from out of state that are just buying a house, make an offer for me. I don't have to see it. So we saw that back in 2009. So I feel like that's kind of where we are right now. It's just kind of like one of my agents said, the market kind of locked up, and it's very hard to find a home. So what do you do when you can't find a home that's listed? You ready? Circle prospects, circle prospects, circle prospects. So that's what we're preaching to our agents, they come to the meeting, they have a buyer looking in the neighborhood, call the neighborhood, find an off-market listing. That's what you have to do right now. So you have to go outside the box and you have to make those calls. And a lot of people that got in the business the last 3 years are like, what? I have to call people? Because you just had business coming in. It's not like that right now. So you have to do extra things if you want to be successful and hit your goals. You have to make those calls. You have to go out and post. One thing I did a couple weeks ago, I went and posted on all these different Facebook groups my buyer needs, and I got 4 off-market properties that I went and set up appointments for. Am I coming to list those? They don't know that, but I'm going to go out there and look at those properties and then try to get the listing appointment. So you have to go outside the box and you have to do things that you don't normally do to find homes for your buyers. So if you have a buyer right now, you can't find a home, that's what you need to be doing. You need to be calling the neighborhoods where they want to live and finding the seller for them.
Yeah, in a market like this, you have 2 options. You can say, you can complain about the market, or you can do something about the market. That's really your 2 options to it. And I kind of, you know, I can see this as being a stressful time for new agents to become, you know, practicing real estate agents in this crazy market, but at the same time, you guys don't know me. And I'm looking at it live because I know this is like where a quarter of like a bunch of my newbies are. You seriously don't know any different. This is the only market that you know. So how is that going to benefit you? When the market shifts, you guys are like, hey, this is easy. That's great. We've got agents, you know, that started, you know, a couple of years, I mean, a little too, we could even just say last year. And they're going, whoa, wait a second. This is not how it was last year. This is it. We're the toilet paper of the real estate industry. Did toilet paper come back? Yes. Did we have to get creative to find it for a little bit? Did we have to spend too much money on it? Did everything go back to normal? Run this one. Thank you. You guys can use that.
Another thing that's important too is with buyers right now, you have to sit down with those buyers and tell them they're going to have an extra $20,000 to pay over market value right now. They're going to have X number of dollars for earnest money. They're going to have to do certain things, and they need to know that before you put them in your car to go show them a house, because if they don't, then you're wasting your time driving them around. So sitting down and having that buyer consult up front with your client is key to a successful transaction, because then you know they don't have that money to do that. If they don't have the money to do it, there's no reason to put them in your car and show them properties since they're not going to find a house. They can't buy anything. New builds are kind of locked up right now too, because the prices are going up on those. So, but yes, we try to do new builds as well, if there's any out there.
Yeah, and I try to talk about this in every class we have, especially with classes with lots of attendance. We do have, I know that opinions are using Homework a lot. How many transactions do they have right now, Vanetta, with Homework? I know it's, I'll say at least 2. I think we have 2 or 3. Okay, and then Bill had some clients that were qualified through Homework. There were some difficulties, problems in the beginning with Homework just because it's Snowmageddon and kind of complicated things. Slowed them down. They were in the Austin area that was affected. But if you are not currently certified with Homework, it's a 45-minute certification. It's free. Like, just do it. Get it done. Start talking about it. I was at a party. I was at a 9-year-old birthday party, and there was a woman talking about how badly she wanted to sell her home, but there was no homes to buy, and that she couldn't go contingent. I mentioned Homework to her. Hey, have you heard about this before? And it's special to our market center here. Would you like me to put you in touch with one of our agents? Yes, I would love that. Okay, guess what? One of our agents here got a lead because I'm chatty Kathy at a 9-year-old birthday party. It was very simple. And Homework actually has, Vanessa, tell them about it. They have videos.
Oh, they have so many marketing materials. So I was on the other day, and I sat and played with it. They actually have a video that you can do a sponsored ad. It's like a 30-second video, and it's really clean. Their graphics are beautiful. They give you the wording. They say what your headline needs to be, what your call to action is. They give you all the information you need. So they have just regular social media graphics. They have stuff for sponsored ads. flyers that you can customize in Canva and send out to your clients. And I'm actually working with a client that may be they're going through homework to get their house. So the training's 45 minutes. It's super easy. It's a very easy concept. It's not a complicated process. It's kind of like the new age bridge loan is what it is. But it has different terms and it's easier to use and it's not as complicated. And so it's worth getting the training and just educating your clients on it, and they can put a cash offer in and they can take it over asking price, you're more likely to win the deal.
So I want to open it up to questions. But one thing that is great, we're now, this market center will be at 422 agents. Woo! 422 agents. And it's important that you all know that you have options here. Okay, and I try to do this for anybody that I meet with one-on-one when they come into KW Central, but you have the option to be a solo agent. You have the option to go into coaching. We actually have 2 different coaching programs here. You have the option to join a team. And within that, you also have the opportunity to put yourself on a path to creating a team yourself. But there are right ways and there are wrong ways to do things. And that's what I'm here to help with. And I know Amy's always happy to answer questions. She's not here every day, even though I try to get her to be, but whatever. She's got a great house, she does too. But we're here to really kind of help guide you in the right direction. And guess what? You might pick a direction that you want to go on, and it might be the wrong direction. That doesn't mean that you have to change brokerages. It just means you have to change your direction of what career you're creating. Make sense? Okay. So questions. Who's got some questions for Miss Amy here? Anybody on Zoom, you're welcome to ask too. Lawrence, I have a gift for you, Lawrence. You can't leave today.
Alright, so as far as Dr. Shannon is saying, that how did you start this being more
On my team,
Every team's different.
yeah, every team is different. If it's from your sphere, it's your listing, but we also have rules around when an agent is new on the team, they have to go through all the training before we really want them to take a listing. So it'll be your listing, but Matt over here is our listing specialist, and he will work with our newer agents on your personal listing.
Lawrence is what? Licensed 5 weeks. He's already had his first listing, his first buyer. We're all like, good job. I'm like, oh, Lawrence. He's doing great. Okay, other questions? Quite a bunch today.
So for the database,
just keeping in touch. So we have quarterly calls. We have yes. So we just check in, let them know we're thinking about them, if they have questions, and referrals, things like that. So that's quarterly, and then we do handwritten notes, something quasi or handwritten notes, and then social media posts. So we try to make sure all of our clients are on our Facebook account, so we can send them messages, comment on their posts, and then so we do client events and then mail. Pop buys, yes. So we do a lot of things for our sphere.
So that's something that's important. You didn't just say that we post on Facebook. You said we comment
On their posts and then send them private messages.
Who's doing that? Okay, not enough hands went up just then. Okay.
you can talk to me. You know, like I got, we go to even funny, like lazy, funny enough, and the baby shower. But I can talk to everybody.
You have to create a group for your sphere and your database. So that group, that way you can see them up front. You create that group. And then like if we'll see a birthday, we have what's called our top 100, and our top 100 are people that have given us repeat referral business and referrals. So we see that they're having a birthday and it's not in our database, and we may send them flowers or tips, treats or something that day. So we can send these things the same day now, which is really cool. So if I see someone's birthday that's in my top 100 in the morning, I'll just say, hey, Emily, can you send them flowers? Can you send them tips treats? So we're constantly sending out things to our top 100 or different events like that. Or if we see they have a death in the family, we'll send something, things like that. So just any kind of touches. We have a moments campaign. Our moments campaign is things that we do for our clients throughout the listing, and then buyers, when they go under contract, we do give 3 different moments for them during the transaction. So that's another thing we added this year that's been really cool.
Yeah, if you see one of your clients lose someone in their family, one nice thing to do also is like Uber Eats or DoorDash, you can send a digital gift card to them because they're already receiving so much food and so many things are being delivered to the door. So one positive thing that we've heard is send that digital gift card rather than more food.
Just those things. that I just said. Yeah. Yeah.
Questions? Any questions on Zoom? Everybody's being
I think that, I think that, some is trying to speak with you.
Oh, you might be the.
Yeah, question about what the property is used for $8,
We have a Mojo dialer. Yes, for Circle Plastic.
and how did they feel about the, so the $100 doesn't come with the database, right? So then,
Right. They use that for Circle Plastic.
okay, but it doesn't come with the database, where did they get the database?
We can pull the information from Mojo around the neighborhood. Yes.
We have about.
Yes, okay, so the moment thing we're talking about, and y'all just started that this year? Yes. So that's during the transaction?
Yes. So for example, on a listing, we send flowers the day before it goes on the market. So they have fresh flowers for the first weekend it's on the market. And then we send, once it goes pending, we send them boxes so they can start packing. And then when it closes, they have like a special like gold champagne bottle that we can give for them.
I found in the box.
We deal with Amazon, there's a package that they have, and it's not that much, it's like $40. So, I mean, we do like, it's like $150 total per deal, which is not that much if you think about it.
Right.
But it means a lot to our clients. And then with the moment, to get the return on investment, we need to be asking those people for referrals. So Emily will go in and order the moment. She'll send that to the agent with a picture of like the boxes and say, your client just got boxes today. Here's your opportunity to call and check in, ask how things are going, and then if they know anybody else looking for something.
If you guys got nothing else from this class today, you just gotta go back right there. That was the golden ticket. Yeah. Jordan, right? I'm trying to learn everybody's Jordan. Yeah.
So I might have used the Mojo's thing as far as you put out the market and calling people for market copies. Is that through Mojo or are you getting?
Yes, so in Mojo, you can pull an area. Okay. Yeah, so you can put in an address, I haven't used it. Put in an address and you can pull 100 homes around that address and it'll put them all into Mojo and then you can just go through them.
Okay, you pay for that service?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's a million different tools at your fingertips. Your poor little burned finger, she burned her hands. I feel so bad for her. That's why she doesn't wear gloves like in a cool way. Are you doing okay?
I am.
Oh, okay, so you got a good one. Okay. There's multiple different avenues. I mean, we talk about command all the time at a high level. Well, Amy's had her systems in place for quite some time now. So command isn't something that she's utilizing at a high level because if she's in that, if it's not broke, don't fix it mode. Now, for our new agents coming in, you don't know a different system in place, and there's actually more things being added to command every single day, not to mention the fact that Bill and I are looking to add even more things on top of what command does. But so you can lead generate through command, but also just know, guys, that it's good to talk to other agents here at the market center and figure out, hey, what are you using? What's working? What's not working? What direction should I be going in? Because you never know, just like what she's talking about, this could be something that you could benefit from, maybe not now, but as your business continues to grow. And we always like to hear about things because if we can implement it here at the market center for everybody, then it's great.
win for everybody.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so in terms of staying in contact with your business, I'm curious, like for making a call specifically, because it's your team, right? So all of them, they were your people to begin with, and then as you know,
No, everybody has their own database.
well,
So
right, but initially,
I
when
still
you
call my
started,
own people.
okay.
I still do my own sphere.
Okay. So even, and everyone that's on your team, they call their own people.
So they assign leads. So in their system, which is Brevity, they assign a lead to an agent. And so in their system, they're actually able to see when it's all logged, when contact is made with that particular lead. And things are identified within their system of how they categorize things, whether it was a sphere of influence lead that agent brought into it, or whether it was a lead that was provided to them by the team.
So when people join our team, they're sitting a database of 100+ people. Those are their people that go in their calls people. And then every Monday, there's assigned letters of the alphabet. That's who you're calling in your sphere.
And Brevity tracks that, so you know whether they call their people.
Yes.
Yeah, and so now command is doing the same thing now that the whole command team aspect of things has been released and they're finally working out all the things with it. Same thing. So you'll be able to assign leads. There's a lead routing system now with the team leads. Now, one part of having a team is you do look to add to your team, but you're not always just looking within the market center to it. You also look at agents that are with different brokerages. And what's the win for you in bringing somebody from a different brokerage over to your team?
Profit sharing. We also have revenue share. So they're just different. And we're happy about that.
Yep.
If they're not calling them.
People,
I know. I know.
yeah,
You
but
don't
no,
know. You don't know. You don't know.
but no, you said the keyword that I was looking for, which was the profit share aspect of things. You all should be looking at and realizing the fact that we're Keller Williams and we have profit share. And so even if you're not looking to build a team right now, but if you know people that are at other brokerages that are struggling, this is information that you can share with them. A team may not be the best thing for you. Coaching might be the best thing for you, but you might know an agent at a different brokerage if you go, hey, they could really benefit from this. Let's have them come over. We'll do a KPA, which again, look on the calendar in May, the Career Visioning Light. I want you guys all to do a KPA, learn about yourself, and then guess what? I can sit down and we can go quickly over your KPA so you can better understand who you are as an individual agent. I thought I saw a hand. Is there a hand? No. Oh, there's a hand. Yeah.
In terms of social media, do you try to find a balance of posting consistently and interacting, or do you think it's more important to interact with your sphere?
We do both.
You do both. And is it so many times a day, so many times a week, or not?
Not really.
Not really.
I mean, we have certain things that we post, so it's just when those things happen.
Gotcha.
And then Emily will spread them out, so she knows how to go and I don't know. Yeah, but she can go in there and put a whole bunch of posts and spread them out over time.
Okay.
And she does it on the weekend. I get confused. And I'm like, "Holy gosh."
But with our social media posts and notes that we write to our sphere and stuff, those are all letter based, right? So 26 letters in the alphabet, 13
Same
weeks
as
in a
how
quarter.
you call.
Yeah. So when you do 2 letters a week, you go through your database in a quarter, like 13 weeks. You start over again. That's how that's set up. You decide 1 letter a week for the notes.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm assuming you alternate.
yeah, that's how all.
Teresa, yeah.
What if, okay, so you mentioned the social media posts, you mentioned things that are normal, like this, they do, stuff like that, but what if you're a new agent and you haven't had any listeners yet, or you haven't had any closers yet? It would be something to post so that you can keep yourself, in the minds of people, besides just, your personal business.
You can get together with Lawrence, no, but she's gonna give you some good suggestions too, but Lawrence, Kelly, Lawrence is like, what, don't call me, but.
So you can borrow a listing from the market center. So reach out to the agent, just say, hey, do you mind if I post your listing? People ask us all the time if they can post our listing. Absolutely, it's exposure for our listing. So why not? So ask to borrow a listing, maybe look around your neighborhood where you live or the area where you want to market. Find a listing in that neighborhood, reach out to the agent. You can post those listings. And then you can post a buyer need. If you don't have a buyer, just post, hey, if anybody knows there's a blah, blah, blah coming on the market, holler at me. I've got a buyer, just make it.
Yeah, and no, that's a good point. And a lot of agents, and I'm glad there's so many new agents in here. Agents at this market center, this is a great culturally based market center. They love it when you share their listing. It's within culture to reach out to them and just say, hey, is this okay? But then set up a campaign through command. You're going to be capturing leads. I mean, on average, we're seeing things well below $1 a lead. On that, some as low as 42 cents a lead. And you're helping one of your fellow agents. That's perfect. We love seeing that.
Honestly, like on Instagram, you already have to think that you just have to do the right and it allows you.
I don't understand that language though, Lawrence. I don't think hashtag.
Yeah, it's like a maximum 30. So you just go from 5 to low.
Yeah. You're spam, but Amy and I are looking at each other going, that's not hashtags. And maybe
Instagram so we can follow you.
I know, right? He actually does have a very good, actually his Instagram and Maggie Dieter, who's at this office, has a phenomenal Instagram. Brian Hart also, Mariana, yes, Mariana's beautiful. And I mean, they're just aesthetically pleasing to look at. Their color schemes, like everything. Their hashtag, I try to hashtag. I try to make a fool out of myself. That's funny, sorry, I'm going off topic. I make peanut butter cookies and my kid goes, are these hashtag cookies? That's just weird.
I opened up a PDF. Is that a hashtag?
We can make it. Yeah.
On the conversation of social media, do you find there are certain platforms that are more productive right now?
We just use Facebook really as our main one, and even some Instagram, but Facebook.
Anybody else?
Well, well, one thing we're doing in May is there's a, I don't know if y'all know the Frisco Referrals. It's a minor league baseball team. We've got a whole section we reserve out, and then we invite our top clients, and it includes their ticket to get in, food, a drink, a souvenir, I think, and then they have fireworks at the end. So that one's really one of our biggest ones we do every year. I'm sorry. Did you get the good turnout? Yes, we get a really good turnout on that one. So last time we did it, I think we had like 75 people, and this time we're expecting 100.
And is that your top 100 that you mentioned earlier being shot to that?
Our top 100, and then anybody that closed with us in the last year, our students are referred. That way we can get them into our top count. Yeah. We were doing like little happy hours and stuff before COVID, like once a month, but we haven't done that. Yeah, so we haven't really done anything else. We haven't done any. This will be our first one in May that we've done in over a year.
Once a month? We were never done?
Yeah, so what we can do, yes, but there's not that many people there. It's all about the invite and the touch. So we call it pop-up happy hour, and we let them know like the week before, hey, we're going to be at this location, stop by and have a drink, have a snack, and then we send that out. So we may get 10, 20 people, but it's not like 100 people are coming, and then we get our vendors involved, and they take care of the basics.
And trying to limit the vendors to roofing maintenance.
Yeah, title, mortgage.
That's something to keep in mind too, guys. If you're looking at farming, if you guys were here for Bill and I's marketing farming class that we did, and you're like, gosh, I can't invest in the financially to send out postcards, partner with someone, partner with a vendor and say, look, if I generate business from this, I'm going to make sure that you are the person that I drive into. So for title and mortgage companies, a lot of times, will help out in that situation. So just get creative. And if you're struggling with getting creative, come and talk to me. I might need a glass of wine, but then I get really creative. But no, but I'm happy to help you guys get creative. Darcy is more creative. Yeah, I mean, if you tell how many creative meetings I've had, you open up my drawer and see all the little bottles that are down. If only I wasn't kidding. But guys, we're at 1 o'clock. I'm gonna kind of wrap this up, but I want to say thank you to Amy, because not only was this great information for you guys regarding decisions to team or not to team, that is the question, but also to really, she shared some major marketing know-how with you today. So whether you're on a team or whether you remain as a solo agent, take all this information that you got today, process it. I see Missy over there writing down. She's taking notes like crazy. This is a lot of good information from, like I said, our first MREA here at Central that we're so, proud to have her here. We love all of our teams here, and we really do have a lot of fantastic teams here at Central. So if you guys need more information or just have questions about something that you heard us discuss today, just feel free to reach out to me. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that's